Keith Duffy, good morning.
Good morning, right, everybody.
How's it all going there?
It's all going very well, all in the right direction.
Are you at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro?
Funny enough, not today.
Sounds like it. Where are you?
I'm just on my way home from the school run.
Oh, you're on the school run, are you?
Yeah, just on my way home from the school run, so sorry I'm not more exciting than that.
Keith, I was sure you'd get one of your servants to do the school run.
Oh, no, how dare you? How dare you? I don't have any service.
Okay, we just talked about good news there in the news about job creation. Things are going well, and I know that you want to talk to me about this new initiative that involves cinema, that involves your daughter, and that involves good news.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It just, basically what's happening is the new cinema down by the O2 have made it autism friendly.
Oh, great.
Which basically means it's making it friendly for all families affected by autism to be able to go and enjoy the cinematic experience without having to panic about whether their child with autism is going to have an issue with the sound or the lights or the sensory issues that children with autism suffer with, if it's going to become a problem. And in this cinema, they seem to have, encountered all those problems and put them to bed. It's great. It's
a great idea. Now, tell me, Keith, what is the situation for a child, particularly with autism, when it comes to visiting the cinema? When they get through the doors, what are the issues they encounter?
Okay, well, children, as we know, with autism suffer with sensory issues, so yeah. they're very, very sensitive to sight and to sound and so forth. In a cinema, it's very, very dark when the movie starts. There's a lot of commercials that would take away the concentration levels of the child, and then they get bored very quickly, and the rest of the kids in the family won't get to see the whole movie, or the parents won't get to see the whole movie. What they've done down there is they've made the lighting so that it's not sensitive to a child with autism. So they don't darken the lights as much as an ordinary cinema. As well as that, the surround sound sometimes can affect a child with autism and the actual volume of it. So they've brought the volume down, and the surround sound is not as severe. And they've done a couple of tests on it now, and it seems to be working with children that would be very sensitive to other cinemas, and they're actually sitting down and enjoying the movie. There's no commercials, there's no breaks. You're literally just going to see the movie, and that's it.
And how does Mia enjoy the cinemas generally when she goes to see a flick with you?
Well, we're very lucky because we've moved mountains with Mia, and she's done very, very well. Yeah. She's really, really progressed extremely well. She loves the cinema. Now, it's on her terms, and it's when she wants to go, and it's what she wants to see. There's no compromise there, which is fine, because, to be honest, I love going to the cinema, regardless whether it's a leave your brain outside movie or whether it's an intense kind of 4-hour epic. Most recently, we went. She's had to be getting this kind of compassion for Titanic.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, so many children have.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's actually quite funny when you explain to the kids that the Titanic actually was a boat and it did actually happen,
Yeah, yeah.
They think it was only a movie.
I know.
But no, she was very aware now that it was an incident that took place. In fact, she's gone back and she's studied the whole history of the Titanic and the people that were on board and the survivors and when the last survivor died and all the rest of it. But we went for the 3D experience, and she absolutely loved it. It's great to be able to experience something like that with me and now.
Well, do you know, the Titanic film has, I was just reading last night, has pulled in nearly $2 billion since it first opened because of the reintroduction of it. And it's a huge story, and kids like Mia and my own are starting to love it now, another generation. So it's a long film. How did she cope with it's nearly 3 hours, isn't it?
I thought she was going to explode with excitement. Because she's been studying it on the internet for the past few months. She knows Jack and she knows Rose and she knows all the characters.
Good.
And, the girls love the old romantics of it. And me being no different than that. So I actually sat watching her watching the movie, and I had a great time.
I love that.
She was just so full of emotion. I thought she was going to explode. She was blowing kind of air into her mouth till her cheeks were kind of all blown up. And this is all just down to excitement. She just loved it so much. It was fantastic. And every minute, she never got bored once. She just really, really kind of adapted to it and loved it.
And what other films have you gone to see together?
Oh, we've gone to see everything.
Everything.
I'm a big fan of the Shrek movies. I've had to get DVDs of the Phantom of the Opera and movies like that. You wouldn't be able to predict what movie she's going to fall for next. She finds stuff on the internet that she gets really, really into, and then she studies it. She learns all about it. She can tell you all the statistics of it, and then if it does happen to come into the cinema or whatever, I have to bring her along to see it.
And would there be other children, Keith, with autism who would have far more difficulty sitting through anything longer than 20 minutes, half an hour, what have you?
Of course. I mean, autism, is a spectrum disorder.
Exactly.
So, it goes very, very mild to, quite severe. So there's very, very different severities of autism. So each child is different. Each child is completely different. And that is always a message that we try to send out there. With the educational facilities that we try to put in place for children with autism, we do stress that every single education is tailored to each specific child's needs. So yes, there are children that wouldn't be able to go and sit through an epic of Titanic, but with this new cinema down by the Point Depot, they'd be able to sit through an awful lot more than before.
Good.
And there's a lot of people now, a lot of children now that would be able to sit through a full movie down there, whereas they might have only lasted a half a movie or a quarter of a movie before. So we're moving in the right direction, but the big message here, I suppose, is like when I started this 10 years ago, nobody had any idea what autism was. I mean, a very, very small majority of the country knew what autism was. The difference now, 10 years later, is that there are now cinemas making performances available to children and families with autism by making amendments to the sound and to the lighting and one thing and another. So that's a huge move forward. That's a huge move forward. If other companies were to try and take a leaf out of their book and make their venues kind of child with autism friendly, we'd be a test case for the rest of Europe. We'd be leading the way. It'd be a very, very proud feeling to be Irish at that point.
What other areas of life apart from the cinema could be tweaked, if you like, to help families with autism in their lives? Cinema is one thing. What else do you encounter that you see?
Okay, well, look, where does a family need to go on a daily basis? Families need to go on a daily basis to a supermarket, or what children like to be included in is swimming lessons, swimming pool. I mean, like I said before, the sensory issues is a big thing. So when, yourself, if you go to a public swimming pool, the echo inside the swimming pool, that could really freak out a child with autism, and they wouldn't be able to, to get the swimming lesson because of that echo that bangs off the roof.
Sure.
If there was some kind of dealing with that, I don't know the answers really, but if there was some way of dealing with in buildings like that, if you're going to a supermarket, when you've got the fluorescent lights all through a supermarket, and if one of the fluorescent bulbs is broken, this has been quite a popular one. When the fluorescent bulb is broken, it kind of flickers rather than stays on. That can really have a bad effect on a child with autism, and scare them and put the fear into them, and the reaction to that then would be, to an ignorant eye, would be to a child having a tantrum, and a lot of parents would look upon that child and think, my God, that child needs reprimanding by their parents or whatever. But in fact, the child is just having a reaction to the fluorescent light. So if people could be aware that if the fluorescent light is broken in the supermarket, to get it fixed and have it done, or if there was any geniuses out there that knows how to take the echo out of a swimming pool, that would be even better as well.
I've spent this week on this program on the air learning, and I'm doing it again today thanks to you. I had no idea that a flickering light could cause so much anxiety for a mum and her son or daughter going through the aisles. I had no idea that the echoes in a swimming pool could cause so much grief and tension and stress for a family with somebody with autism. And, until you told me, and hopefully lots of others today, we just don't know. Like, until you're in that, fighting that war, you don't know.
No, you don't know. And like I said before, every single child is different. Every child in the world is different. Every child with autism is, autism is a word that's given to children that have a string of disabilities that seem to be related together. All the children have all the disabilities. Some of them are very, very mild. But autism is just a way for us to kind of way of understanding that this child is different and that they need, they have special. But the special needs they need can be provided if we're aware of what their needs are. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of throwing it out there with the fluorescent tube, the echo in the swimming pool. There's plenty more I could mention, but not every child is by that.
Yeah.
But, the majority would be, so it's about